Hey everybody, hope you're all okay. Today's question is about copying access control cards. How easy is that? And is it really a security threat? Let's have a look at that. So one thing to emphasize is that when you talk about the security level of any system, it's always important to find the weakest link, because the weakest link will decide what the security level of that system is. And of course this also applies to the use of access control cards. Let's clarify that. It's really hard to say of any card type, any programming format, if it's secure or not. It really depends on the context that it's operating in. Let's have a look at this schematic, which is presenting an access control system in a simplified way. In the system, we are dealing with users that need to be instructed to follow the guidelines and the policies of the company. If users do not follow these guidelines, how can we expect the system to be secure? We may have selected a specific card type. Maybe we have programmed it in the right way. But then we also have to make sure that the readers support the security measures that we have put into the cards. Then the readers are connected to an access control system. Maybe we've connected them using Weekend. And we've talked about Weekend before. It's not the most secure option in the world. Maybe we should have selected OSTP. We have selected physical hardware, doors and locks that need to be of sufficient quality. Then the access control system itself is consisting of hardware which needs to be configured, a server which needs to be installed well with the right security measures, and then the entire system needs to be configured well. And the administrative team needs to make sure that the system is monitored and used on a day-to-day basis in the right way. And of course it's obvious that the security level of any system is depending on the security level that's supported by each component in that system. But we seem to forget that when we speak about cards. I see companies that invest heavily in cards, but then really use crappy door locks, which is not really secure, is it? Another thing we seem to forget is that we shouldn't always strive for the highest level of security, we should strive for the right level of security. So maybe in this case, this company is using MIFARE Classic cards, and we all know that MIFARE Classic is not the most secure option in the world anymore. But if we combine these MIFARE Classic cards with fingerprint, and we use multi-factor authentication, then certainly it may be a really secure solution. Now, in order to understand the security level of a card, it's important to distinguish a few different features. One is, how easy is it to access the card and read the information on the card? And when you're capable of reading the card, does that mean you're also capable of changing the information on the card? And then when you're accessing these cards to read it in your system, how can you be sure that this is actually the card that belongs to your system and is not an evil card that's in disguise? Who knows? Now there's a whole variety of devices you can buy online to copy cards or to change the content of the card. Some of these devices you have to connect to a computer, and some of them just work standalone. Here you see two samples of devices that work standalone. Let's see what they do. This is one of the devices. I can turn them on. And it then tells me to only use this in a legitimate way.
MIFARE card.
It can then start scanning for frequencies or just read the card.
Read success. Card number is 123.
So in this case this is card number 123. And if I want, I can change this card to number 456 or anything else. I just type input, type 456. I say input.
Card number is 456.
Then I type write.
Write success.
And now this card should be changed to 456. Let us check.
Read success. Card number is 456.
All clear. Now to prove that it works, let's read it with the other device. There you go. So I think it's important to realize that there's a lot of devices like this out there. And these devices, for anyone, it's easy to copy a card or change information on a card. But of course this doesn't apply to any card. And you could argue there's a rat race going on between those who try to hack into the technology that's used in cards like this and the manufacturers that are trying to release cards that are safe and secure to use. What is safe today may not be safe tomorrow. That's an important thing to realize. But most importantly is the understanding that this is just a key. It's a digitized key, which is removing the physical elements of the traditional key, but in essence it is still a key, which means that the security level of your system is not just depending on this key, it's depending on every aspect of that system. And again, it's the weakest link that is deciding what is the security level of your system. If you would like to learn more about this, please have a look at sekinroot.com. Hope to see you there, and for now I say bye.